Hello, everybody. Welcome to True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Feminine and Fierce, otherwise known as Connie Renee. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I just got off work a little bit ago. Came home, got in the shower, took like a quick shower just to get the hospital stuff off of me. And here we are. So, hey, liked and shared. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jessica, for your super sticker. Hey, yes, we are on YouTube. So if you're over on the Book of Faces, I am going to be shutting this off. Come over, join us on Feminine and Fierce on YouTube and check out this true crime story. If you're not into true crime, you can always catch me next time later on tonight when we go over all of the malarkey that we haven't talked about yet. So if you're not into this, I hope to see you later. If you're not coming to YouTube, then I'll see you on the Book of Faces. Bye, Facebook. Hey, y'all. Carrie, that'll be later on the malarkey. Right now, this is just True Crime Tuesday. So we talk about all different types of crimes. I actually wanted to bring you guys this story. It is a true crime story, but it's a little different than your, I would say, typical story. But I thought it was good to throw a few little different stories in there and kind of cover all of that stuff, all that, encompasses true crime. I don't know. I'm not sure if people just didn't know or, maybe they didn't follow me for a while, but this is not my first time doing true crime. I've covered other cases both before they got to the courtroom, while they were in the courtroom, and after. So True Crime Tuesday is not my first round of true crime stories, just the first time I've done it on a Tuesday. So I do follow a podcast called True Crime Tuesdays. It's really good. And I thought, shoot, we could do, I think it was actually somebody in the comments that mentioned it. So I was like, yeah, we could do Tuesdays. Let's just do True Crime Tuesday. So, but yeah, I covered, and the Murdoch case. I covered the Murdoch case. There were several cases I covered. But this story here, like I said, it is a little bit different, but I love to get your opinions and what you guys think as far as this story versus other types of crimes. You love true crime. Me too. There's so much out there. There's just so much out there. The reason I picked this case in particular is because there was a very recent update to this case that I was like literally on the floor, like my jaw was on the floor, like, wait, what? So, because I just couldn't believe it. Let's see here. Just get to the video here. Let's see. All right. Because I already have made a video about it. If you are not signed up for text alerts, all you have to do is text make sure you include the @ symbol at FF Outlaws to 81010, and then you get text alerts, meaning you can even text me back on there. I will message you anytime I drop a link or drop a video, go live, anything like that. Or if I'm just, texting you guys to let you know what's going on, things like that. So let's see here. I'm trying to get to, oh, okay. I see what it is. I'm like, wait, what is going on? I see what it is. I'm on the wrong account. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. So everybody, I hope everybody is staying safe and warm with all of this snow and the storms that everybody is getting. I'm lucky enough, it was 50 degrees here today and I was freezing, but I know that it's a lot colder elsewhere. So I take that as a blessing that at least we got to 50 degrees, because I know a lot of other people did not. So, all right, here we go. I haven't put the video public yet on my page. So I was like trying to find it, but it's unlisted. So of course, let's see here. View on YouTube. There we go. The story was crazy to me. Okay, here we go. Someone is nice enough to let me use their account because they have premium. So it's nice because then I don't have to worry about commercials or anything like that. What the hell? No, you did not just do that. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. And again, I will be back later to discuss the malarkey and all that. Going down to 30 tonight here in Central Florida, 28 degrees here. Oh, you're getting a snowstorm on Thursday and Friday in Texas, Lakita. It's 40 and freezing in Oregon, 12 degrees upstate New York. Brittany, you're good. You're good. 10 degrees here and 12 inches of snow. Oh my no. Oh, my mom's in Kansas City, thankfully still with power. Oh no. Well, prayers for everyone that they stay warm and, are snug as a bug in a rug. Is that how it goes? Wait, what's -7 Celsius? I don't know what that is I don't know how that works. 21 here in Buffalo. Wow. Yeah, I can't be doing all that now. All right, let's get over on this. There we go. Let's see here.
The best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm not the best thing to ever happen to them.
Did you hear what she said? She said her kids are the best thing that's ever happened to her, but she's not the best thing that ever happened to them. That's a huge statement. That is huge to me. All right, I'll let it play.
They are the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm not the best thing to ever happen to them.
I've done a lot of drugs in my life, and I've never felt anything like I did last night.
The little girl's gone. Have any questions for me?
Are my kids okay?
This is 34-year-old Music Adami and her boyfriend, Matthew Bynum, who lived in a deserted area in New Mexico with their 5-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son. On Sunday, March 10th, just after 11 a.m., the Grant County Sheriff's Department responded to reports of a non-responsive child at a property on Quail Road Run in Silver City. The videos from the Grant County Sheriff's Department showed deputies arriving on the scene and running to a tiny home on the back of the property. The reason they were there is because someone on the property called 911. Let's take a listen.
Grant County 911, what is the address of your emergency?
97 Quail Run.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I have no idea. I'm staying with some friends right now, and they are completely. You have a little girl who's not responsive at all. to the parents are somewhat responsive, but not. They're in and out of, and then they have a 7-year-old boy who is mostly responsive. I was able to get him on a chair, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I really don't.
And are you staying in the same house?
No. I'm just on the property.
Okay. What is your name?
My name is Thaddeus Hawkins. I woke up and I heard someone yelling, "Ow, help!" And so I went in and I was trying to help him.
Okay. And what room is he in?
It's kind of like a one living area type of thing right now, but he's in the same area as them. They're all in the same like tiny home area.
Okay. Give me a second while I get them started on their way, okay?
Due to them living in a rural area, the deputy rushed over as quickly as he could, and this is what he found on.
What's going on?
Some of the people in the room right here that aren't responding.
They're not responding?
There's one that's not responding.
Who's here? Sheriff's office.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much. Sorry, I'm really, really stiff this morning. I can't sit upright.
Are you guys on anything?
No.
No? What?
No, I'm just really stiff from...
What's wrong with them?
He's tired, I think.
Is he awake?
He is awake. He moved from here over to there. He is awake.
Who's not responsive?
Not responsive.
Little girl in the middle.
Officers immediately upon entering the tiny home could smell a foul odor and could see that the home was filthy. Not only that, but some of the things at the scene, like these ashes, would later come to be one of the things that helped officers find out what really happened. And the saddest part of all is once officers would get the parents up out of the bed, they would discover their 5-year-old daughter laying lifeless. And both Music and Matthew would claim to have no idea what happened the night before.
What's wrong with them?
He's tired, I think.
Is he awake?
He is awake. He moved from here over to there. He is awake.
Who's not responsive?
Not responsive.
Little girl in the middle.
The girl, she's responsive.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You guys need to move.
Yes.
Move. You guys need.
Okay, so at this point, the officer realizes, you can see there with the black circle there, the officer realizes that the other child is laying in the bed with them, basically underneath them. So that's why he's now telling them forcefully, like, you need to get up now.
You get up now.
Yeah.
Get up.
We're getting up. We're getting up.
Get up.
We're getting up. I'm getting up.
Let's go. Hurry up. Get up.
I'm going.
You guys need to get out.
Yes, sir.
Stand up.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Stand up. Get up. Hurry up.
Thank you.
You need to get up.
Got it.
Good at 10-7.
Where?
Right here.
Who, kid?
Move. Get up. Yes.
Get out now. Get out. Get out. I don't care. Stand up.
I'm going.
How long, Hondo? Check his vitals. Did you smoke it?
Huh? No.
What is it?
No, it's not. No, we just fell asleep really hard. We're really sick.
755 for him.
What's going on? Was it fat?
So unit calling your very 10-1.
Get out. Get out. Stand up.
I'm not calling 8.
Stand up. Come on. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
Where is this going?
Stand up! Now!
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you again! Stand up!
I'm standing up. I'm trying to...
Give me the other arm.
Yeah. Ow!
Their 7-year-old son was rescued from the home with only minor injuries. He was taken to the hospital along with his sister, who they did perform CPR on the scene, but it was too late and she did pass away at the hospital.
Extremely confused. So no. What about? Right, just be honest with me because I need to be able to treat your kids.
When you get up, okay? Stand up. Sit down. Sit up, come on. Thank you.
What did you take?
I don't remember taking anything.
How long have you been out?
Last night was the last time that you were okay.
Last time I was okay. We were laying in the bed there. Had to split all the yolk.
Okay, what the hell did you take, bro? What did you take?
I didn't take anything.
What do you guys have then?
I don't have anything.
You want to take him to the unit?
We'll get that once EMS checks on vitals.
We'll take him. Let's take one at a time. I don't know if he can walk.
He needs to get seen first.
Okay, so we don't know exactly what they took. They're both confused. They don't want to say anything. We have 110-7, 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Another one, bad condition. He was unconscious, I believe, when they got here. And she was also in bad condition when they got here. But our detectives are on their way right now, so we're just securing everything. She good? Let's go. Stand up. What's your name?
Music.
Huh?
Music.
All right, stand up, Music, and place your hands behind your back, okay?
I can't really stand it very well.
Let's go, hurry up.
I don't know what it is. I'm trying.
Turn around. Give me your other hand.
Sorry.
Come on.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
You awake? Yeah.
Are you good?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I'm not sure.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
He's not feeling too good. I don't know if you guys want to check him out again. He's leaning to the side and he says he's not feeling too good.
Hello?
Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing.
You said you don't feel good?
Yeah. Lightheaded.
Lightheaded?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can you tell me what your name is? Do you mind if we just check your vitals one more time?
I took a needle off of her. It's right there. It's all burnt up. There's still ash marks on her sweater. The door was already open. I seen the parents laying down. And I seen the son. He didn't look responsive. I didn't see him until I asked him. I said, what's going on? I looked left. He's just sitting on the chair all lethargic. I was like, what's wrong with him? And I saw him moving and breathing. So I was like, okay. So I went to go check on him. I was all, who's not responsive? And then she goes, the mom goes, I don't think she is. And I looked and they're on top of her. I didn't even see him. Like half of his left body was on her left side, half of her right body was on her other side. So she moved and I looked at the kid and I looked at her and it was just, she was already gone.
While EMS transported Music to the hospital, she did admit that her and Matthew used a crystal substance the day before, which was actually their daughter's 5th birthday. But that was a regular occurrence, and this had never happened before, where they were unable to walk or barely form a sentence.
Diabetes, seizures, strokes.
I have had seizures before because I got a minor nasocranial fracture on a bicycle, but it was like 10 years ago.
What's your name?
Music.
Can you spell that?
MUSIC. My parents are long-haired freaky people. They really named me Music. I have an ID.
Do you have heart problems?
Not that I know of, but I have been having a lot of episodes where my both arms will be super numb when I wake up in the morning. But nothing like last night. Last night I couldn't sit up because it was excruciating. And my kids were all floppy, like, we all were all floppy. I can't explain it. I don't have any idea. I don't know how my kids would have gotten it. We were at their birthday party all day. Like, we did not have on us at the birthday party. She couldn't sit up. I have no idea. Like, I've done a lot of drugs and nothing has ever been like that. And I don't know what it was, but I do want a toxicology to know if something is going on. Everybody that was at the party, I trusted.
Are you going to be her nurse? Okay. So just real quick, I don't know if you're aware of her situation, what's going on. So if she brings anything up, she hasn't questioned anything yet, so let's just ignore it. So she doesn't know anything at all. She doesn't know her kids yet. So let's just, if she does say anything, just ignore it.
Me and my kids have been feeling really weird. All we had to eat in bed last night was some chocolate cake that we got for my daughter for her birthday. I do smoke weed, and the last time I ingested any was at approximately 12:30.
Okay.
Before we head out to the park for her birthday party. It's probably going to ask if I can talk to him. I just want to see him.
I can't let you leave. I can't let you leave this room. How is he doing?
He's good.
He is?
Said he hasn't eaten since Friday. So.
Okay, so you heard that officer say that the child had not eaten since Friday. Now, the thing that I found so absurd about this is that the birthday party for the little girl was on Saturday. Okay, so the little boy is saying that he didn't even get to eat on during the birthday party, that he had not eaten in days, which of course he could be confused at this point, but obviously most kids aren't going to say, I haven't eaten since Friday or 2 days ago or however he said it. I just can't. And yes, I've seen that video seasoned, and hello, Christina. Yes, that video seasoned is definitely a crazy one.
Kind of got a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah.
So we're working through it a little bit at a time. The reason I'm here, I wonder if I could take some pictures of you.
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Are you the detective?
I am.
Are you the one that will also be getting a toxicology report? Because I need one. I know I've done a lot of drugs in my life, and I've never felt anything like I did last night. It was completely bizarre.
Well,
and all that we had was the chocolate cake that we bought at Albertsons just before bed. We ate one more slice of chocolate cake.
Okay, and what was it that you felt last night?
Last night, I just felt like I couldn't hold myself up. Like, I kept falling into the wall. My kids kept falling into the walls.
You're weak, you were dizzy.
All of the above.
All right. You have any questions for me?
So my kids are okay?
Your kids are okay right now.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, it's one of your kids is here right now, but I'll talk to you about this more here in a little bit, okay?
Try to get it to pee, but you could have his legs.
You could have what?
But we on his legs. So we're gonna do a leg x-ray, and then they need to go on his chest.
You want another blanket?
Any findings so far?
After hours at the hospital, both Music and Matthew were both led to the sheriff's department, where police would start to question them and also break the news that their daughter had not survived.
When we have a death occur, we treat every death as if it's a homicide until we can prove otherwise, whether it's someone, old person dying in their bed or what have you. So just for those reasons, we're going to take some pictures, okay?
Who died?
What's that?
Who died?
The little girl's gone. Okay. So we're going to have you stand up. Officer Carrasco is going to remove your handcuffs. We're going to take some pictures, okay?
Stand up, sir.
Give him a minute.
Well, you guys were waking me up. She was talking.
So, Mr. Bynum, here in a while, we're going to have a conversation about that, okay? But I know you're going to need a little time.
Wait for representation.
Okay, you're going to want a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then let's take some pictures, and then we can get you back to the cell for now.
You guys are free to go. You guys are free to go. You just can't go back to the house.
Go back to the house right now.
Yeah.
So.
You know.
Well, he doesn't know. That's what I'm telling him.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So you can't go back to the house. You guys are free to go. You guys' phones. She
I
understands
only have one phone.
the phone.
Yeah.
You guys come back tomorrow and get with the detectives in the morning.
So the officers had to go back to the only person that was coherent at the scene, which was Thaddeus, who made the 911 call.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Why am I being arrested?
You're not being arrested. You're being detained. Turn around.
Why?
Because you're up here and there's a kid. That's why.
Kid?
Yeah.
I wasn't even in the house.
I don't care.
Called. I didn't know she was. I really didn't. That's why I called. I didn't know what.
Look. Read you your rights, then you can start talking.
Sorry about that. Got a lot going on right now. Alright, so I'm going to read this to you. It's an advice of your rights. It's because I take to investigative detention, okay? Yeah. Considering the matter at hand. Yeah. I saw that you were the 911 caller. Yes. But before we get into that, let's start in the morning. So how did the morning start?
Well, I don't know if you saw the red van there or not with the dogs in it barking. That's where I'm trying to convert that into a little trailer. That's where I was sleeping. I woke up and I thought I heard the kids playing around outside, and then I realized that someone was yelling out from inside the tiny home, and I didn't know why. So I got out of the van and I went and I checked. There was music. Matt was kind of laying near music, like almost on top of Zachy, little girl. So that's when I decided to call 911.
So let's just kind of backtrack it a little bit. So you heard music yelling. So you hear that. You walk to the door. You go to the door and you open the door and you see Zach, you said? Zachy. And music laying on what?
Well, that was on the bed. Zachy was kind of half on, half off, and music was not on the bed at all.
How did they get the house?
It was it's a propane heater on the wall, yes. But last night, a few nights ago, the propane ran out, and they had taken it off to go get propane, but never got it to the propane bill.
Did they ever start fires in the house?
No. They don't start fires in the house. They go and I thought you saw the coals in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So that was where they went and they burned wood and brought it in once it was cold and no smoke left.
Yeah, because that's what I saw. I saw that and I was like, well, maybe we could be looking at carbon monoxide here too.
It was. I don't think it would have been because last night they might have used wood the coals to heat it, but it's probably not likely.
Zachy.
Oh. Did not know that.
Zachy's gone. That's why all of this is happening.
Yeah.
Because we need to figure out how in the heck this even came to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know last time we talked a lot about doing the right thing and this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, that situation that you're in, definitely a good time to do that, right?
Right.
I can't even think of a situation where it would be more important to know what's going on than right now. I'm not the kind of cop that likes to get people caught up. That's not why I do this. That's not why I'm here. Right now, seeing her covered up, seeing her afterwards. Like I'm not lying. Like it knocked me down. I cried for a good long while.
I saw you walking away from the ambulance crying.
Yeah,
I didn't know why.
Yeah, it got a lot worse after that. Right now, my job is to do right by Zachy and lie the best I can by understanding what's going on. I mean, and like I said, sometimes things happen. Sometimes people kill other people on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's accidental or things go too far. There's a million reasons why something could happen, why something could come to be, right? And sometimes there's little details of things that happen that end up meaning a lot down the road. Like, well, I noticed this, or I did see that, or I overheard whatever, or I had this feeling, or something that smelled right in house, something, right? So sometimes those things can lead to having a greater understanding. So is there anything of that nature regarding anyone that was there at any time that could have led potentially to that?
I only ever heard music and Matt argue, but it was usually when Matt was super tired and stayed up all night gathering wood and stuff. And then the truck would break down or something would go wrong and he didn't. And music, it's common for that to happen, but it was never around the kids. They never did anything around the kids and they loved them so much.
Is there anything that stands out to you about what happened that could explain what's going on here?
I mean,
what stood out was Zaki's face, how pale it was, or that's what I called.
Recording for us?
Yep.
So I'm sure they went over this several times with you, but boy was somewhere in this region. Dad was laying here, decedent here, and the mom off to the side. And then when Thaddeus came in, he saw them here. She was super pale. For some reason, moved him to this chair, and then came back, and then that's when he started calling 911. Girl could have gotten sick. I mean, living like this, you know? Gets a little bit of a cold or something, then there you go. She had any kind of immunocompromise.
So they said that she got sick and threw up?
The mom was like, I've done a lot of drugs in my life. She goes, I occasionally do meth and weed, but I don't do heroin, nothing like that, and I've never felt like I did last night ever in my life.
A post-mortem toxicology analysis would be conducted on Zakilon specifically designed to identify carboxyhemoglobin saturation. Normal carboxyhemoglobin levels are generally up to 3.5% in non-smokers and up to 8% in smokers. When Zakilon's result came back, it showed a 70% saturation. It was far too much to survive. The coal fumes had killed her.
Okay, so like I said, you can vote this anytime you want, alright? like the deputy told you, I'm Detective Orozco, you can just call me Randy, that's fine. So my job is to figure out what happened, and you are someone that can give me information that I obviously wasn't there for.
Yes.
I'm playing a little bit of catch up.
I do smoke weed, but I had not imbibed any speed.
Okay, so just to be clear with speed. Thank you. I appreciate
I do not use them regularly. It was just kind of like I wasn't feeling good. It doesn't matter. That's all just excuses. But anyways, I had not used any past like noon 30 at the very latest.
Okay.
And there was nothing that she could get in the room. The room is extremely messy, and that is true. And we're working on it. We don't have a vehicle right now to even take it to the dump. So it's really
hard.
It is hard.
Crazy hard.
And we had a friend that was letting us use their truck to do dump runs and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To do dump runs and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I've done, not recently, but like recently I've just done, and I've done a lot of drugs throughout my life though. My name is Music. My parents named me Music, you know, that's the life I grew up in. But I've never felt like I did last night. It was unreal. Like I couldn't hold myself up. My daughter and my son couldn't hold themselves up. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted us to get some sleep, and I thought that would help. And I don't know.
Okay. So you heard what she said. The daughter couldn't stand up. They were having issues. They were acting different. They're losing the ability to put weight on their limbs. And she felt like the best idea was for all of them to just go to sleep, and it would make it better.
That was not like anything I've ever experienced.
But too, that's extremely weird, right?
Yes.
Stuff like that doesn't really happen.
I don't have any idea what happened, but I want to know what was in my system, and I want to know how it got to my kids' system, because they did not get in. I'm telling you, and an investigation will have to be done, and that is fine with me. But I know that I do not do things, or I know that. And so if that's in my system, and if that's in my little girl's system, somebody put it there. Sorry, excuse my language, but I do not
speak however you want. You're going through some right now. Straight up.
No, I want to speak eloquently because I don't want to
be misconstrued.
I don't want to be misconstrued. I know that a lot of people come through here lying about what they do, and I am not here to lie about what I do. I'm here to figure out what happened to my children, because I just want to know that they're okay.
So
I want the opportunity to become the best fit for them. I don't know what happened. I don't think it was the cake or anything. I don't know what it was.
what about the heater for the house?
The heater, we don't have the propane hooked in. We're out of propane.
And the cold? Like if we had the cold or whatever you were burning in there?
Yeah, it was cold. They were cold. But we burn them all the way to cold so they don't smoke the place out, and then we vent the window. Normally we have a propane heater. And when we have the propane hooked up to the heater that's up against the wall, we still leave it vented because the kids were, a while back, like when we first moved in, this is over a year ago, my son was waking up, throwing up, and we discovered it's because we had all the windows shut with the propane heater on, so it wasn't ventilating properly, so we started leaving the windows just cracked, and that was enough, and all the throwing up stuff.
Likely due to hallucination.
Okay, so you heard what she said, that they had all the windows shut, and because of the whatever they were using to heat the house, that they were throwing up and everything because it wasn't ventilated properly, so they now cracked the windows. Also, when they got to the scene, the child was underneath. You heard the officer that the left side of the dad's body was on the child's left side, and the right side of her body was on the right side of the child, to where he couldn't even see the child until he got them to start moving. And she said, he was asking if the kids are responsive, and the mom said that yes, the boy was responsive, that he had just got up and moved from one place to another. And then he asked something else, and she goes, yeah, she's responsive. To which the officer was like, no, she wasn't responsive. So I always wondered, like, did they know that the baby was obviously already gone when they got there, and they just pretended like that, I don't know.
And delusions caused by amphetamine. They forgot to open their windows, neglectfully sealing their daughter's fate.
Yeah, that was my initial thought with everyone in the house. Like you guys, from what we were told at the time, like people just aren't feeling good, and having that type of heater inside the house or even burning the coals inside, you get a little carbon monoxide. A certain percent, I'm not a doctor, some percent you're going to start feeling sick and whatnot, and after that things get a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Right, progressively more serious until that's solved.
There should have been at least 2 windows in the house.
Okay. Zai, right? Is that your son's name? Zai? I checked on him at the hospital when I saw you. So from what they're thinking, at that time, things could have changed. He looks like he has a touch of pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay, but I mean, otherwise, you seem pretty okay. They're treating them. They're going to do what doctors do.
Yeah.
Right, and check him for all sorts of stuff. Zaki, she didn't survive. Fine. But we are going to look into it as deeply as we possibly can to try to get a better answer for what happened.
The detective would write down his thoughts during this very moment, saying Miss Adami was told about her daughter's passing. She appeared to attempt to be shocked, and also cried, but no tears came out. She would stop and stare for brief moments at a time, which could have been initial shock or theatrics. Her emotional response did not appear to be genuine. The detective had gotten everything he needed. For the rest of the interrogation, music would recount how she couldn't move when she woke up, and everything that had happened the previous day. They would roam free for over 2 months following the death, but would finally be arrested after a case was built up, showing the two's extensive past of child neglect, including poor living conditions and a lack of supervision. Matthew would be charged with intentional abuse of a child, resulting in and abandonment of a child. Music was charged with intentional abuse of a child, resulting in death and child abuse in the first offense. As of December 2024, their trial is still ongoing. If found guilty, the two will likely be facing life in prison.
Okay, now they were let go. They were let go from the police station the day that all this happened. That next morning is the interview you see with mom where they let them know what happened to their child. My thing is, maybe they weren't allowed at the hospital or something. I don't know. But if I would have been let out of that hospital that night, or out of the police station that night, they would have had to have arrested me to not go to that hospital. But so then she found out, they said that she didn't seem shocked. I still feel like when they woke up, she realized that her child, especially if something was wrong with you. But I also feel like they may have ignored some of their symptoms because they were on DRUGS. So I feel like they may have ignored some of their symptoms, thinking that they got something bad in the DRUGSs that they got, and they were obviously ignoring the signs of the children, because if a five-year-old was having trouble walking, I understand that if you have a cold or you don't feel well, going to sleep and thinking it would be, you'll get better. I can understand that. But when things are like, a child that's 5 can't walk, can't put weight on their legs, no. I'm calling 911, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they were set free for 2 months, and then they were charged with this, the charges that they got. They got out on, I guess they're out on bond waiting for their trial. So as of December 2024, the trial was still ongoing. Now, this update is actually what made me do the video, because the update of this is, to me, I just cannot imagine what the county or state or whoever controls their CPS in that area of New Mexico, what they are thinking. Listen to this update from this story.
About a grandmother who is outraged tonight that CYFD wants to return her 7-year-old grandson to his parents.
Those parents are currently facing felony charges in the death of their 5-year-old. And when the grandmother spoke up, the state took the child away from her. We spoke with the grandmother's attorney.
Did y'all smoke dope?
No.
Fentanyl? What is it?
No, it's not fentanyl.
I got you, baby. Come on.
That's deputies back in March near Silver City, where they found a 5-year-old girl dead underneath her parents.
How old is your sister?
Just turned 5 yesterday.
A 7-year-old boy explains to a deputy he doesn't want his sister to die. 2 months later, a toxicology report on the girl showed a high percentage of carbon monoxide. The 7-year-old who survived also tested positive for meth. Both parents are now facing child abuse, resulting in death charges.
Drug addicted, just living in horrible circumstances, homeless sometimes for years.
All things the children's grandma and a school employee reported to CYFD over and over again before the death, as spelled out in documents KRQE obtained. CYFD first placed the 7-year-old in his grandmother's care in March.
In some ways, she felt like, okay, now the child's with me. He's safe, he's secure.
We spoke with the grandmother, who says she's helped her grandson improve his grades and health. He was in karate and had play dates. Then CYFD told her they were working to put the boy back at home with his parents, who are accused in the death of his sister.
And I think the department ought to understand that. They ought to understand that anybody else that's involved and interested in this child's welfare would be concerned about reuniting him with parents that were so extremely neglectful.
Attorney Jonathan Diener says the grandma voiced her concerns.
And then the next thing that happens is the department pulls him and puts him with a stranger. I mean, she's upset. She's upset.
This letter from CYFD to the grandmother from late July said the state removed her grandson from her home because she was not supportive of the court's plan of reunification, affecting the best interest of the child.
And I did talk to the child's therapist, who that was her her attitude was it was a huge mistake to take the child away from the grandmother, given that he has already been through so many traumas.
Even if the child is placed back with his parents, they both face court cases.
And if they're found guilty on these charges, they're going to go away to prison. And then what happens to the 7-year-old again?
Well, it seems to me that if CYFD has their way, this child won't be with his grandmother. And that's the unfortunate sort of weird, tragic thing that's going on right now.
CYFD refused to comment. The grandmother is fighting for custody, but today a judge ruled against giving her custody.
Now, so the grandmother fought for custody, and in the end, she lost. So the child is a ward of the state, and reunification with his parents is the goal. So I don't know what happens when they go to jail, or if they go to jail for this with his sister. The grandmother was fit enough for them to place him with the grandmother when all of this happened, and he was doing well in school. Everything was great. But when she voiced her concerns, because they were going to put him back in that situation where she had already lost a granddaughter, they jerked him from her custody because she voiced a concern. And they felt it wasn't that she wasn't thinking of the child's best interest. It blows my mind. And this is what's crazy. This is the craziest part. Let me read you some stuff that happened, okay? According to the criminal complaint, the primary cause of this 5-year-old's death was carbon monoxide poisoning. Court documents and interviews with the parents revealed that the tiny home was without running water and a stable source of heat. So the parents would burn coals in the home to keep it warm, a method that got them in trouble in the past. Now, did you hear that? It had gotten them in trouble in the past. So it's not like they didn't know. Okay? They knew, because the son that's 7 when this happened, got sick. According to court documents, the parents had been instructed to open the windows when burning coals. However, the investigation revealed that on the night of March 9th, the only ventilation in the tiny home was a small gap in one window, allowing a cord to run inside. The complaint states that the 7-year-old boy was checked into the hospital overnight on March 10th due to dehydration and pneumonia, referring to a lack of overall parental care. The complaint adds that the children were left to habitate in an extremely filthy tiny home, which was unsafe for human occupancy. Additionally, a hair follicle test showed that the 7-year-old had been exposed to, the M word that they chose to do, methylena. The 7-year-old boy was taken into the custody of CYFD, which had received call-outs to the property. Now, this is the crazy part, okay? They had received call-outs to the property in response to the concerning state of the children prior to this incident. According to CYFD documents provided by the Sheriff's Department, the majority of the call-outs resulted in failure to make contact with the parents or a lack of responsiveness from the parents. So this happened in March of 2024, okay? In August 2023, during a traffic stop, police reported to CYFD that the children were extremely dirty, had not showered in a while, noting that the kids were not in car seats. In November 2023, another report was filed because the property did not have a working toilet or running water, and because the kids were constantly truant from school. In January, a school employee reported to CYFD that they had physical and emotional abuse concerns for the 7-year-old. The parents admitted to DRUG use and domestic abuse. Concerns were raised about where they were living. In March, now this happened March 10th. So in March, the Grant County Sheriff's Office issued a temporary custody order because they felt the children were in danger. It is not known if that was granted. on Thursday night, CYFD said this is an ongoing investigation and CYFD is cooperating with law enforcement. So this is what the arrest warrant stated when they arrested Matthew and Music. After review of these files, it appears that Matthew Bynum and Music Adami have had an extensive period of time in which there has been great concerns regarding the inadequacy of care to their children, which eventually led to the death of one child and the hospitalization of another. There has been, for the most part, a lack of cooperation with CYFD and the resources that CYFD could have been provided to them to mitigate their familial circumstances and conditions at the time of attempted interventions. Now, Matthew Bynum and Music Adami are in cooperation with CYFD and their efforts only after losing the custody of their remaining child and the death of another. So, yeah, Adami, she faces first-degree felony of intentional abuse of a child resulting in death, second-degree felony of subsequent abuse of a child, and third-degree felony of child abuse. Bynum is facing first-degree felony of intentional abuse of a child resulting in death, second-degree felony of subsequent abuse of a child. So, yeah, and they want to put the child back in their custody. First of all, they failed them. Because they had a report in August, a report in November, a report in January, and on file when that child passed away, on file was a temporary custody agreement from the sheriff that was supposed to be in place. They weren't even supposed to have custody of these kids when this incident happened. The grandmother should be, in my opinion, taking legal action over them not serving that temporary custody order. And not only that, she's lost the grandchild now, and they want to put him back with the mother and father. Like, I just can't. That shit drives me nuts, because how many kids are out here that get taken from parents for things that maybe they needed taken, but the parents try everything in their power, and they don't have this extensive history. They have things, they take kids from people, and then they do everything they can, and they still don't get their kids back. But you have people who, and most of the people that I'm talking about that can't get them back, most of the time, they didn't even have a real reason to take their kids, but they can't get them back. And then you have a case like this, where they have already been the demise of a child in their custody. They have all of these reports, all of this paperwork. The ultimate has already happened, for lack of a better phrase. And they want to give the kid back. It blows my mind. Like, I feel like we have great social workers, also some bad ones that don't need, yes, like anything, Marisol, like any career, there's always good, there's always bad. But at some point, there has to be something above the social work, something that is put in place. Because like I said, it seems like the more that, so he basically, it was a hair follicle, G. So it could have been just that he was around it in the atmosphere and they were smoking it around him, that it got in his hair. So the little boy did test positive for it in his hair. But again, that could have been just because obviously they lived in that tiny little house. I didn't even see a bed. It looked more like they were just sleeping on the floor. And that his son, the 7-year-old, is around them. So I'm sure they're sitting there doing the things that they do, and the son is there around it. So it probably got into his hair. But that really don't do anything, right, Amy? That's what I'm saying. They definitely take kids away for, people calling, and then a situation, they'll take them, and then they can't ever get them back. But you have somebody with all of these things on the plate where you can say, well, here they did this, and here they did this, and they actually did it. They actually neglected them so bad this happened. But yeah, let's give them their other kid back. Come on, yeah. And you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, TRI. They must have been. I know, Missy, but that's the thing is like just like her, I love my kids and I just want the and it makes me think that she knew she had to have known the way she words the things that she says, and then she says, I just want the opportunity to be the best thing to them or some shit. Like the opportunity because you already screwed up with one. Like, I don't know. I just feel like she had to have known something. You were a foster parent for years, yeah. So, like I said, this is a different type of case, but how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel that this is I don't want to say like comparable because it's not the same as a parent, obviously doing something to their child, but I mean, I feel like this is just as bad as the lady that we covered in Kentucky, the mom that did it with a pew pew. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I mean, because that baby suffered. I mean, any child suffers that has to be deleted this way. Sorry, I'm trying to find words that I can, won't get me in trouble. But I feel like this child suffered. I mean, if you've ever read up on carbon monoxide poisoning and what it does to your body prior to, the demise, it is not, it is very uncomfortable and it's a sad way to go. And they have probably been poisoned over time. Like, I mean, this is probably something that wasn't just that night. I don't know, Valerie, if I saw that or not. I have a family member who works for CPS. She's a mom who neglects her children. Oh, yeah. See, I can't. You think she knew too? Yeah, me too. I just feel like this is no different. Like, it's the same. Even though they can say they didn't mean to, or they can say this or that, they already had a child that was getting sick. And they had to take the child to the hospital or whatever because of the carbon monoxide. He was throwing up. And then she says, oh, so we vented it properly. But they went to bed that night with all the windows shut. So they weren't doing it. So to me, you may as well have picked up a weapon because your neglect and your not being a responsible parent led to that regardless. So, and I know accidents happen, but again, I don't feel like this was an accident. It had happened to their son before. They knew what happened. They knew what they were doing to heat the home wasn't what they should have been doing. So I can't say that. I can't say that it's any different than doing it on purpose to me. Exactly. The living conditions, everything. But I mean, these kids went to school. They were in a public school system. And still, even in January, when the school reported it, so the police reported it when they pulled them over, the school system reported it, and then there was another one that they got a report or whatever. So they had multiple reports of this. I've been on about 58 minutes, but our true crime usually only lasts about an hour. So what I'm going to do is I am so thankful for you guys for joining me for this True Crime Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I do have so many that I want to share with you. Somebody brought up the is anyone follow season 3 of I haven't seen that, Nikki. Yeah, you're late, but you can catch the replay, Caddy. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments so that I know you were here. Sorry we missed you. But somebody was talking about the daycare worker that got caught trying to avoid licensing, and she had put 25 kids in a basement and I saw that story. There are so many stories that are out here, but I think I have a really good one that you're going to enjoy next week. So definitely come back next week for True Crime Tuesday. And for all of you guys, thank you so much. And make sure you like the live if you haven't already. You're welcome, Phoebe. You guys have a great night. And I will be back right here on YouTube a little bit later for all of the malarkey news. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Bye.